welcome to Woodshop 101, a woodworking audio podcast geared toward the hobby weekend woodworker. Your hosts for the show are Jeremy Crawford and Drew Shore. Join these two different craftsmen for a lighthearted banter about everything woodworking, online education, and how they produce content. Topics could include the latest news, tips, tricks, and designs, to include furniture, crafts, and shop projects.
All right, welcome to episode number 37. Tonight, we're going to just let the conversation take us and do a little brainstorming and see where we end up.
This could get dangerous.
Especially with our brains.
At some point, we'll just have to call it quits because I'm sure we can go very long-winded on this.
Maybe we should set a timer.
So, what are you guys up to tonight?
Sam?
Oh, God, where do I start? What am I up to? Just same old work, dissertation edits, more work, not enough shop time. That's where the problem really lies. How about you guys?
I'm extremely tired.
Porch building, that'll do it to you.
Yeah, so I'm building I think it's like 16 by 32 foot porch, and it's not building it, it's rebuilding it, which I think is harder because you have to do everything so careful so the roof doesn't cave in on top of you. So, lifting the porch and then setting new cedar beams and everything, it's for the last week, that's all I've been doing, and I'm pretty tired. And I'm trying to get a little bit of shop time in here and there. I'm doing a quick Mother's Day gift, like last minute, and it's all going to be done with a little bit of wood and some epoxy. And I actually recorded the first part of it this morning before I went and started working on the porch. So,
well, just so you know, roofs are overrated on porches. Don't worry about that.
Oh, don't worry about that.
If it caves in, it wasn't meant to be.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure that happens tomorrow.
On the plus side, you're gonna have like Hulk-sized arms when you're done from holding up all these roof lines. So, bulking up this week.
Either that, or I'm not gonna be able to get out of bed.
And he'll have to walk sideways to get through doors.
So doing all the concrete work and the cedar beams, like none of that. Like I was not as sore as what I am today, holding up tongue and groove planks above my head and nailing them in all day. Like that right there was the most strenuous activity. So.
This could be like a new form of workout. Like people have like yoga and dancing, but you could do like woodworking workouts.
There you
go. This could be something really big.
Yep.
Maybe we can make videos.
Speak of videos, I have, once this Mother's Day one is done, which will be done probably on Thursday, I'll have 3 videos ahead of schedule.
Whoa.
I just need to edit them.
So you're half done.
Well, I'm half done, but that's the hard part's the recording. Finding the time to record.
True. Yeah.
So Sam,
the other part is overcoming the laziness to do the edit.
True. I was going to try to have something else out again this Wednesday. It's not going to happen. I just have not had that time. So I have, Drew, sat down and started writing the first article about all the travel overseas I did.
Oh, okay. Took you long enough.
Yeah. Well, so most of these stories are going to be the first for anybody to hear. If you weren't there and experienced it with me, it's going to be the first. Like my wife, my kids, family. So it really trying to put that into words and talk about like experiences is proven to be a little more difficult. So maybe that will come out this Wednesday. No, probably not. Maybe Friday. It might come out Friday.
all of our deadlines just get delayed.
Wait, I just realized tomorrow is Wednesday, so it's not coming out tomorrow. Maybe Friday. Maybe I can finish it up on the plane on Thursday. So, what have you been up to?
That's where I get a lot of my best SketchUp work done is on a plane.
Yeah, because you can't get up and go like, oh, what's on TV? Or let me walk out to the shop. You're stuck in this chair.
A mighty uncomfortable one.
There you go.
I haven't been actually doing a whole lot in the shop the past week. I had actually planned to get a join it video out, which was this one, and did not turn out the way I wanted it to. The method didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, so I scrapped it, and I decided to come back to it another day. I am probably a couple of weeks behind from getting a video out. I had to do some soul searching. I had a little bit of bad news hit me it's about a couple weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago. I can't even remember anymore, but I had a sponsorship contract fall through. It was supposed to go through this past week, and it didn't happen. So I had to kind of take a step back and just kind of take stock and just kind of reevaluate. And now I'm ready to get started again and kind of put it behind me, start moving forward again. So that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Something better is waiting for you. If that one didn't work out, it's because it wasn't meant to be, and something better is working out. That's, you know what, I really do feel, I'm one of those like people who's always like, things happen for a reason, and then people look at me like I'm crazy, like, yeah, okay. But for real, if that didn't work out, it's because there's just really something better coming along. So wait for it. It'll be worth it.
And that's what I was starting to realize. I mean, I can completely understand the business decision that they made, and I completely respect it. Have no hard feelings whatsoever. I just decided that, you know, like you said, it wasn't meant to be. It was going to allow me to do this full time, which was probably the most disappointing part of it. But now I'll just go forward and try and see if I can get something else. Maybe there's another company out there that would be interested.
There is.
Yeah, and just because that particular company's not interested right now doesn't mean they won't be, you know, again, coming to the first of the year or something.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, no hard feelings. And like I said, it was just a business decision that they needed to make, and they felt it was best for them. So I just need to find something that's good for me.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, it just kind of delayed me in kind of getting back in the groove. But I just basically decided I don't need to wallow. And so I just need to get out of the little funk and get started again. So I do have a join it video planned. I've had a couple people wanting me to go in depth on the lock joint, even though I have used it many times on my drawer building videos. They felt that I didn't go in depth enough. So I'm going to try and dedicate a video. Since I'm pretty good at doing those fairly fast, I don't think it'll take me long. So that'll kind of get me a jump start, I guess, back into the groove again.
Yeah. Well, hey, that was not Starbucks, Sam.
No, I'm not drinking Starbucks tonight. Tonight I am drinking homemade coffee from my Keurig.
Homemade.
Some gourmet.
We're not getting off topic with you, Drew, but you know, she was that Starbucks drinker, and it's not there.
Well, it's because she hadn't gotten paid yet. Remember, Starbucks. That's expensive
because I'm broke and I can't afford Starbucks today. So I made a Keurig K-cup holder last week, and I'm putting it to good use this week.
I might have some good news for you. I might not. I just texted a buddy to find out some valid information. Locally, Starbucks has a happy hour from now until the 15th.
What?
Hang on. It is.
Stay with me.
Yeah, stay with me. It is for Frappuccinos, and it's from 3 to 5 until the 15th. I just texted him told him to ask his wife to find out if it's nationwide. So,
drumroll, please.
We're still waiting.
So I'll let you know when I get that text back. But I literally just texted him because I was gonna stop today because it's actually his porch that we're rebuilding, and she told me at lunch. I was like, as soon as I'm leaving your house today, I'm leaving early. I'm going. Yes,
drum roll.
Yes. Life changer.
So 3 to 5. Let me turn off.
I might just be on the Frappuccino diet for the next week.
Yeah, that sounds healthy.
But yeah, so it's his porch that we've been working on, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to leave early. I'm going to get me a Frappuccino. And then I got home, and I looked at my clock at 6:30, and I was like, crap. I needed to go get a Frappuccino, and I didn't even go. Are you one of their Gold Points Plus members or whatever, Sam?
I was, but so in order to like get those things, you have to pay for Starbucks with your phone. So you have to like upload money to your phone. And I'm like all about being as lazy as possible when it comes to coffee drinking, and I can't function without it. So I would keep forgetting to put money on my phone, and then when I would go to pay for points, they'd be like, it doesn't work that way. So now I just pay like a regular person and just drink my coffee.
I'm not, but I was gonna say if you are, you would have an extra hour of happy hour a day.
Why do you do this to me? Now I'm gonna have to go up, like, put more money on my phone just to get extra Frappuccinos.
Yeah. See, it's from 3 to 6 for their gold members.
Oh goodness.
So, yeah, this
nice woodworking podcast we got going on here.
If you don't have coffee, you can't woodwork.
That's so true. It's so true. I like can't function without coffee anymore. It's really bad. But woodworking related, if you would like to make a K-cup holder,
oh yeah, there you go.
And visit my blog.
I did see that.
You what?
I did see that.
Somebody else built a K-cup holder.
Yeah, someone built one like right away, and they did a better job than I did. They put me to shame.
Well, I saw that, but Drew built one. Didn't you,
I
Drew?
did. Yeah, Sam don't know about it, I don't think.
I don't know about it.
Mine,
it's an older video, right?
Yeah, it was the kitchen build-off. Kitchen utensil build-off.
Oh, yes, that's a year ago.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But it was, how many did it hold? 4 and 4, so 16 cups and a serving spoon for your coffee grounds if you want to make your own K-cup. And it mounted on the back of a cabinet door and closed inside the cabinet.
Oh, see, yours is like fancier than mine. See, mine, the problem was that I got the new Keurig where it makes like all those fancy cappuccinos and stuff. So the pods are a different shape than the original ones. And so I had to get a little creative to be able to like notch out a little section where the pod could like snugly fit. It was fun though. It only took me like an hour. So it was a fun little lunch break project that I did.
On the plus side, my Keurig broke right after Christmas.
No.
So I'm gonna buy a new one. I'm gonna buy the one that comes with the carafe.
Okay.
Because on like a Saturday morning, I just need a pitcher of coffee. So
until then, you're gonna have to go to Starbucks and buy coffee, like Sam said. Regular people.
Regular people buy coffee.
None of these gold point things, you know.
So regular.
We've been demeaned down to regular people from Sam.
Yeah.
I'm a regular person too, I promise. Woodworking related though, I do have a question, and this is a good one for people to chime in with. So I've been looking into wood planers and was wondering what your recommendations might be. I have a lot of scrap wood. Posted something about it recently, but unfortunately this woodworking place went out of business and gave me a whole bunch of like these gorgeous hardwoods, but they're all different widths, and I'd like to do something cool with them, but I'm gonna need one. So I was wondering what you guys thought.
The one I have is awesome. Company went out of business. However, so I have a Steel City, their deluxe model, which is like $700 or something. It was a helical head style. Rikon, I believe, took over their design and makes the same lunchbox style planer. And I have a few Rikon tools, and they're amazing. So I would look at Rikon. If you're wanting to go more generic, go to your home improvement store pickup. A lot of people are pretty happy with their DeWalt 735. So really, it really depends on where the price point you want to spend at. If you're wanting to spend over $500, then I would say either go with the Rikon or go with the DeWalt 735.
Yeah, because what I do is all budget friendly and kind of specializes in that. And I kind of like, that's like a hard balance too, like being budget friendly, but still trying to purchase quality stuff, you know? but I definitely feel like I'm definitely gonna look into those anyway, because I really like something that's gonna last. Like I don't want to put money into something to be budget conscious, but then it ends up like going on me anyway, and I got to spend more money for something else.
Yeah. Yeah, and you want something ideally that has some kind of dust or chip shoot out the back. You know, a lot of your lower under $500 ones just kind of come out the back of the blade and just go everywhere, and so you can't really use any kind of dust collection on it. You know, mine comes out the back, but it comes with a shroud that I can put a vacuum in on the side and it'll suck it out through the
That's
side.
cool.
And the DeWalt actually has a like a fan chip ejector, and it'll launch chips like 20 feet. So all you need really is, you know, I've seen a lot of people put like a rubber band with a pillowcase on the back, and to like collect all the chips, because it will throw them out into that bag. So
All right, that's cool. That's a cool little fix. I like that little DIY.
yeah, I mean, if it's about the best way to collect those chips if you don't have a dust collector. Because a planer, easy, you plane a board, you know, 1 or 2 times and you're gonna have chips everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a way to collect it, it's just an absolute nightmare.
My dust collector shoot off of the planer that I have. The planer's been discontinued, so the parts are discontinued. So my easy in a bind fix was laying my trash can on its edge, right behind the planer. So whenever I was planing the wood was feeding into the trash can, and so was the chips.
Okay, I like this. Little life hacks. This is good.
What brand planer do you have, Drew?
I've got a Craftsman lunchbox style that I acquired off of Craigslist, basically. Well, not Craigslist, but something like it. There was a little channel, like a local channel in my hometown of Ada, where it's called Bargain World. And it was live television for about 4 hours of them presenting overstocked and returned items, or things that were maybe had a minor defect that they couldn't sell on the floor.
Yeah.
And I got the professional style scroll saw from Craftsman from that. I got the planer. I believe I got my sliding compound miter box. And it was all just like real cheap. I paid like, I think $20 for the scroll saw.
What?
$40 for the planer. $75 for the compound sliding miter box. But yeah, they were all discounted pretty inexpensive, just because of that.
I need that hookup.
Oh, no.
They stopped doing it though. That was the unfortunate thing. But my dad got all kinds of stuff from that place. I remember the biggest purchase that he got was a log splitter, and the only problem it had was a valve cover was missing off the motor. So he just ordered a new valve cover, and it was like brand new again. But he purchased it for a fourth of what it cost brand new.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's really awesome.
But it's funny you mentioned the planer thing, because I got a email from a viewer named Stuart Ratcliffe. I can't remember right offhand, but he asked me what kind of planer that I would recommend for somebody starting out. And I told him that it's kind of like a price point versus quality. First, I would investigate as to how much the planers that you're interested in are going to cost. Then I would look at how much it's going to cost to replace the blades whenever you finally get around to doing that. Factor in all the things that are going to create overhead, so to speak, for that particular tool, and then make your decision. Now, I know that Rigid makes a lifetime warranty on a lot of their tools. Whether or not the planer falls underneath that warranty, I don't know, because it's more of a specialty tool. But I've been perfectly happy with my Craftsman. The blades are relatively inexpensive, and since they have a little bit of play in the adjustment of those blades, if I do get grooves on the wood, I can just slide one blade over, slide another blade the opposite way, and then the grooves go away, even though they're still there. They just don't appear on the the surface of the wood. So I don't know. You just kind of have to do a little bit of homework and factor in quality versus overhead costs of the tool.
Yeah, for sure.
And
like
really,
I said, like being on a budget, especially, like I don't want to, with anything and with anybody, like you don't want to put a lot of money into something or put too little money into something and then in the long run have it kind of bite you. So for sure I'm going to do my homework.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how I'm at. Like I bought this planer. I think $700 is what I paid for it. And now the company went out of business. When they went out of business, you can no longer get their cutter heads. So my helical style cutter head, once those carbide teeth damaged, I won't be able to replace them. And I don't know. I haven't been able to find a company that manufactures ones exactly, so I don't know what I'll do when that time comes. So, granted, it will be a long time because each blade has, or each like little chipper has 4 blades on it, so I can always just rotate them. But it's that's the one thing I like about the DeWalt 735 is, it comes with straight knives. And, at some point when you get tired of buying new knives, it's about $50 a piece, you can invest in the Shelix from Bird, their cutter head, and it's their helical cutter head. It's probably another $700, but then it just takes your planer from freaking awesome to amazing. So
you're saying your planer is better than mine?
Not mine, because I don't have a DeWalt 735. I'm saying mine, once the teeth are gone, I don't know what I'm going to do.
You've got the helical head, though, don't you?
Yeah. And I'll probably upgrade long before I need to even replace those. In fact, I probably plan on upgrading probably in the next year and a half to a 15-inch. So
planer envy.
Yeah. Look, I've already got approval from the wife. Come January, we'll see, but probably January, I will be buying a saw stop cabinet saw.
That was the approval?
Yeah.
Yep.
She said I could buy one, so
I guess
That's
you're
hysterical.
going with the she's letting you. That's funny.
We got into this conversation about Sam, you coming on and being a permanent third co-host, and that whole conversation about, oh wow, like this isn't just that phase thing that we thought. And I was like, we sat down, had a good long conversation about business and like, where do I plan on taking my business? And I finally got her convinced, or to accept the fact that, you're going to have to start investing money to really, in the long term, make that money. And, I'm going to invest in a better camera setup pretty soon. And then once a year, I'm going to try to replace some of my smaller, bigger shop tools, like, my drill press, table saw, things like that. Try to upgrade slowly on those. And she bit off on it, so saw stop's going to be the first one to happen.
So are you going with the 220?
No, I will, as much as I want to, go with the 3 horsepower or the 5 horsepower 220. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to pipe a shop for 220 volt because I'm not buying wherever we move. So I'm going to be renting a shop location or build one out of my house, depending on what we move into. And so to put that money into that electrical system is just, in my opinion, not worth it in the long run. Maybe, upgrade 110 circuits and put a few more outlets so I can run a couple of the bigger tools at the same time, but probably won't run full 220. So I'll stick with the 1 3/4 horsepower cabinet saw.
I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but are the motors, I guess, because the cabinet is made all the same way for that particular saw, I'm wondering if you can upgrade the motor later if you wanted to.
I don't know. It's a lot. Once I get to that, like, okay, this is when it's going to happen, I'm going to actually get in contact with Saw Stop and and try to work out something with them. Get some of their accessories included in it, and try to figure out like what the best long-term alternative is, because I would hate to spend $3,000 now and then in 8 years or even possibly 4 years when I'm in a more permanent location and have a more permanent shop, then have to upgrade again to a 220. The one thing, I know a lot of people have the 1.75 and they say that it's not underpowered at all. It has no problem cutting through thicker hardwoods and stuff like that. So
yeah, I don't have issues with mine. Mine's a 1 3/4 as well. And I mean, I've bogged it down, not to the point of stopping, but I've bogged it down a little bit on like 2-inch thick stock of like walnut, but everything else it cuts just fine.
Yeah, and see, I'm running, I think mine is 1 1/4 right now, my DeWalt, and I'm just at some point, in your woodworking, you start getting into bigger things. You're like, okay, I want to build something bigger. I want to build it out of more exotic wood or something. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm really exceeding those limitations. And I'm kind of feel like I'm holding myself back because I don't have a saw big enough or powerful enough to get through some of those thicker hardwoods that I want to build stuff with. So
I feel you. Like, that's why I asked about the planners too, because it's kind of like you get to a point where you start to realize, all right, I've done a lot with the same material, and now I want to try to move on to other things. And it's kind of, really important to put the time in to figure out what's going to help you grow in the craft.
Yeah.
No, I've worked with a lot of the materials that you get from big box stores that are already milled up, straight lined and planed and all that stuff, ready to go at 3/4 of an inch. And then I delve into buying S2S type lumber from my hardwood dealer, and I was paying a little extra for it already being straight line on both sides, and I thought about maybe going to rough cut lumber, but I don't know if my planer can handle all that abuse, milling up all that lumber.
Yeah, well, and then at that point you're going to need to invest in a bigger joiner too.
Yeah.
Because
I've actually got a nice, good sized joiner. I mean, it's not like an 8-inch or nothing, but it's a heavy duty 6-inch Delta Rockwell joiner.
Yeah. Is yours one of their 6-inch bench top, or is it the standalone 6-inch?
It's a standalone. It's up on a platform.
Yeah.
But I got it from my brother on a pretty even trade of like it was a $200 auger that I bought to put up my fence. And I had to dig all the post holes, and he wanted it for his, so he traded me straight up that joiner for that auger. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
so
sure. Take it.
It needs a little bit of TLC because the dovetail ways are starting to sag, so the tables are not quite parallel to one another. But I do plan on in a later video overhauling that joiner and then shimming up the dovetail ways and getting it all nice and properly running again the way it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice heavy planer. I had to buy some parts from eBay to get it to top-notch quality again.
Oh, eBay. Go to eBay for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, speak of that. So we've been putting up this tongue and groove paneling, and I had, for the life of me, like me and my buddy cannot figure out what happened. So we're both running the Porter Cable 16-gauge finish nailer. And mine last night, after putting up, 4 or 5 planks, started leaking air out of the trigger. And then it just stopped working altogether. Said, okay, scratch it. I'm just going to buy a new one in the morning. I'll worry about doing a rebuild or something of that one later. Like, we don't have the time to be down and try to repair tools. I just went and bought a new one. I went and bought a new one this morning. We went back. We started getting ready to go to work. He shot one nail. Started doing the exact same thing. And so we're like, well, I guess we're just going to go down to one nail gun all day. Like, we're not going to go back to Home Depot. And that just makes me think, like, what possibly could have happened for both of our nail guns to do the exact same thing 12 hours apart from each other?
Are you pushing too much air through it? Too much air pressure?
No, 120 max PSI, and we're running 120. So
That was my guess too. I don't know.
I have no idea. So that's it, pretty crazy. So
I don't know. Maybe because the trigger moves so much, maybe that particular O-ring that keeps the air in.
Yeah, the O-ring and the valve. So he didn't do what I did. He went and ordered a replacement valve kit for it, which is like $13 off of Amazon. And I went
versus 120.
120. Try like 160.
Hey, that was just a shot in the dark.
Yeah. But I was at the point, sometimes it's you just want to get back to work and figure I'll sell it later or rebuild the one I have and then sell it or hashtag free tool somebody.
You know what he's thinking, Sam. It's like better to ask for forgiveness than permission on his wife.
I didn't even ask permission. I just did it.
I know.
I'm telling.
Well, go ahead.
That's
this is a job site, so at some point you gotta go to the Home Depot and get what you need. Went and picked up a new miter saw. My buddy did this morning too. Like, we just gotta get what you need. So
It's like I'm not fond of my dust collection on my table saw. I think I'm gonna go buy a saw stop.
yeah, I need a saw stop. It's safety features. So while we were looking at these miter saws, I found out that so Festool and the Bosch Glide have been known to have the front sliding saw versus the bars in the back. And Craftsman now makes one.
Yeah, I've seen it for about a year or so.
For 50% off of what the Bosch Glide is. It's $220 versus $650 versus the Festool $1,475. Like $1,475 for a miter saw.
Is it a 10-inch?
Yeah, it's a 10. The Festool?
No, the Craftsman.
Yeah, it's 10-inch. Bosch is I think the Glide is 12-inch.
See, it makes me wonder. I mean, I know not to knock Craftsman whatsoever because I've been thoroughly happy with my sliding compound that I've got. But does it have any loose play in it versus the Bosch or Festool?
I don't know. I didn't actually get my hands on it. Well, I was just looking online and found it. Craftsman's not as easy to find as it used to be. Sears still carries a lot of their stuff, but they don't carry, everything of the line, they used to. So
I remember seeing it in my Sears, but I never got a chance to test it out either.
Yeah, that's going to be the next type of miter saw I get. It's just that space saving. I want that slide, but I want to not have to keep it 2 feet away from the wall either.
Yeah. For those of you that have never seen one before, the slide, the bar, instead of being behind the saw, it actually shoots beside the blade coming towards the front. So you can actually push that saw all the way up against the wall and still have the sliding function.
So helpful.
And it is really, really nice in a small shop.
Yeah.
My miter saw takes up so much space in my shop. It sticks right. I mean, I don't have a big space to work in general, but I have, the Ryobi 12-inch sliding miter, and it's really in the way. So that's super helpful. I need to look into that one then.
Yeah. That's why, because it's going to be probably 8 years before I'm into a bigger shop. I'll probably be operating out a 2-car garage for at least the next 8 years. So
join the club. We got jackets.
Yeah. hey, send me a jacket.
Sam, you're gonna have to wait on that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm in my little tiny shed, my little she shed.
Would your dad be happy that you called it that?
About to say, did anybody see that episode of Last Man Standing, the she shed episode?
No,
I have
but
not.
there was like a whole movement about she sheds. Although mine doesn't count as a she shed. She sheds are like man caves for ladies with like couches and martini glasses. So mine doesn't really count.
Martini glasses. In your case, it'd be Starbucks.
I just got it to Last Man Standing. and I've binged watched 2 seasons of it so far. That's 50 episodes I've binge watched of it.
Well, the She Shed was this season, the one that's currently playing, and it was all for his wife, and then he ended up turning it into his own because he liked it so much. So it was funny.
I've watched like 2 or 3 of the latest episodes. Like the last 3 that have come out, I've watched. But yeah, I just binge watched. Just hit Netflix, and anytime I have like downtime at work, I'm like turning on an episode.
Oh,
So.
I'm getting right back into Game of Thrones. It just came back on.
Yeah, I'm so ridiculous.
Yeah, last episode that I was just freaking out. My wife and I were just like grabbing one another, just like, oh my god.
I won't say it, but I called that. I was like, I know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you called it?
A lot of the book readers called it.
I don't read the book. I'm not a book reader, but right now I'm binge watching X-Files all the way from the first season ever. And there's like 10 seasons, like 25 episodes each. So I'm going to be busy for a long time.
X-Files, that's old school.
So good.
Bones is really good too, if you like crime scene stuff.
Oh, that's next on my list.
How we doing on time?
We're doing on time. Hey, did you ever upload your show notes? Did you?
I did. I've actually got the kickback in front of me now.
Oh, well, there you go. Have you closed your shop yet, or closed your store, Sam?
Yeah, funny story. So, so I finally caught up on orders. I sent my last order out yesterday, and I go to close my shop, and I completely forgot that it's May, and I got a nice little notification saying that I'm auto paid for the next month. And I was like, guess I'm going to keep it open for a little longer. Totally my bad.
Yeah.
These months, man, just creeping up.
You're not going to make stuff for it, are you? You're just going to sell what you have in there?
I mean, I still have some custom listings in there. I toyed with the idea of renewing one of them that was sold out just because I stopped stockpiling them because I was tired of paying the fee to have more than 1 or 2 listed at a time. So we'll see. I mean, I'm caught up now, and work's going to start slowing down in the next few weeks because the clients I work with are all college students and they're going on summer break. So I'll have some more time. But for sure, Scout's Honor, that thing is getting closed at the end of the month because I have a lot of stuff to do this summer that does not involve Etsy.
Yeah. So.
Well, you're too busy for me.
Look, I've been busy, but like I told you, Drew, I'm trying to get enough videos stockpiled that while I'm on vacation vacation while I'm out of a shop for 2 months or 3 months, I still have enough content to be pushing out.
That's smart.
Oh, you want to know my latest shop update that I built that I bought?
Yes.
Got a trailer.
Sure.
Got a trailer. It's piped for 110 volt. So I'll be able to have a mobile shop while I'm on vacation and driving across the country.
Now, the purpose of a vacation
is to have more shop time.
You get enough.
That's valid. I feel ya.
It's not necessarily like big shop time, but it's inevitable. Anytime I go back home, like my brother's like, "Oh, can you rip this fence plank down for me?" Or "Can you do this or do that?" So
his family's gonna be like, "We're here at Disney World. Where's your father?"
He's in his shop. So
damn trailer.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it because it's gonna be here in probably the next 6 weeks, and it's gonna be here in the nick of time. It's gonna give me like a week to pack my entire shop and move it. A week to pack it up and get it on out of here.
I can't imagine packing up my shop in a week. That's ridiculous.
I'm overwhelmed with it. I might just light fire with it and call insurance. Not really. Because
now you're on record saying that, so you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it happens, it was not on purpose. I can promise you. Because
so says you.
I don't think insurance would cover half of the things I have in there.
I don't even know if insurance knows I have this stuff in here.
Well, they do now.
I don't even know if I have insurance.
So, all right. Well, let's move on. I think we've done some pretty good brainstorming. Probably bored people to death, but hey, every once in a while.
This is what happens when we don't have a topic, or none of us can think of one.
Yeah, I think, we've all talked about, we want our goal of the podcast to be answering questions. We want to answer 2 or 3 questions every show. So you guys need to start sending us questions or comments or voicemails. We want the show to be driven by you guys. So
drive,
okay.
Is that a word?
Driven?
So like asterisk driven.
Driven.
Look, I'm from Texas. I'm speaking Texan. So the people that in Texas that listen know what I'm saying.
We have some good learning.
We fixing to do something too.
Yeah, fixing. I say that all the time. Well, yeah, the whole point, like Jeremy said, is to interact with you guys as much as possible. And since we've started the show, we've had some interactions, we've had some voicemails. We have anticipations to have more interaction, more voicemails, more questions to answer. And we're just not quite there yet. We really want you guys to help us get more involved with you as the audience. So having the questions of multiple topics that we can go over really help drive this podcast to where we want it to be. And we just need your help to get it there. So if there are any questions that you want to send us by email or voicemail, we encourage those highly, just so we can get this off the ground a little bit more than what it is. Anything to add to that, Sam?
Just ask us anything. Just anything. As crazy, as weird, I don't care. Just ask us anything. We'll answer it.
Well, she may answer anything. I'll answer most things.
I like Q&As. I can't promise, if you ask me a question I don't know, I'll give you an answer. I can't promise it's the real answer, but I'll give you one.
Can't promise it's what you want.
Dude, whatever you do, don't let Matt Cremona ask questions.
Nope.
He'll give you some weird ones. Like,
So-
where do you have your hair done?
Yeah.
And
Challenge accepted. I don't brush my hair. There's your answer.
where did you get those guns? That was another one he gave me.
So, yeah. You want to do kickback there, Drew?
Yeah, I saw this morning. Is that when it came across?
Yeah, 6 hours. Well, 6 hours ago from whenever I did this, so probably 8 hours ago now. I don't know. I literally have been playing catch up on social media right as I'm crawling into bed, and so I've been pretty much unplugged from social media for a week.
Well, I feel like this particular listener is starting to be like Paul Mayette. Paul's been with us for a long time. He's one of our loyal listeners. He sends us a lot of stuff.
I love Paul.
Lemon Grove Wood Gnome through Instagram has been loyally sending us some feedback as well. And he just posted one today. He was talking about our latest podcast that we had out. He said, I heard the podcast when it was published. After listening to it, I decided to record my Craftsman-style window trim build. Recording the content was such a chore that I just stopped recording and went on with the build. He says, I give you 3 mad props for doing what you do in recording your content. I am pretty efficient with my time, and dragging the camera around was not the business, LOL. He said, I have a littler one on the way. So I am fast-tracking a lot of my projects and will need to find time to continue projects after my son is born. Props to the fellows for doing what you do with kids around. Much love to Sam, because she's awesome to put up with the 2 of you.
Yeah, woo!
I can completely relate to what he's saying here about the dragging the camera around, because when I first started, I did find it hard to remember to not only press record before I did something, but to rearrange the camera angle. So I had a different shot of just about everything I was doing. And the having the little one around, I fast-tracked a bunch of stuff. Before I started my YouTube channel, I built all of my nursery furniture. And I finished the nursery the night my wife went into labor.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, we installed it and everything. And I have it on video, too. She was helping me move some things. And I saw her grab her belly and just kind of breathe. She just, and we had watched it together one day. And she said, I think I was having contractions then, and I just didn't even know it.
Oh, my God.
Probably. Wow, you're making her work that baby out. That's not nice.
Hey, I was ready.
Look.
Even though
Baby
the baby
was ready,
3
too.
weeks early.
Look,
The baby was like, my room's done. I'm ready, guys. I'm
I was
moving
ready
in.
too, and now I'm ready to send them to grandma's house for the next 10 years. Really, my daughter can go. She's a Sour Patch Kid.
You're the worst.
Look, she's a Sour Patch Kid. Now, it's going to be pretty interesting because I haven't seen... She started walking on Easter, and I haven't seen her since she started walking. So this weekend's going to be no relaxing for me. I'm just be chasing her around.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and she's already busted her face up several times walking, so...
You won't recognize her.
She should be black and blue. No, she's going to get a haircut this weekend. First haircut. Her bangs are like down to here, and it just looks like a little mop on her head. So you got to make her look somewhat presentable, like a little female. So
Like a little female.
yeah. So all right, well let's talk about a little bit of what's new. This has actually been out for the last 2 podcasts, I think. The last 2 episodes. We now have an Android RSS feed. And I've just been forgetting to put it into the What's New section. So if you head to the show notes, go into any particular show note, you can scroll to the bottom, and there will be a little green icon that says subscribe to Android or subscribe on Android. You can click that, and it will give you the RSS feed that you can upload into whatever podcast player you download from the Google Play Store. So that is done. We
apologize for the past 2 weeks of all you Android listeners. We didn't announce it sooner.
Yeah, but it's there. And I also, 2 days ago, received a tweet. Is that how you say it? Tweet? That's it?
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a tweet.
That's better than driving.
Yeah. So I got a tweet on Twitter, and it is from PlayerFM, and our podcast is now featured in their Woodworking Channel. PlayerFM is a podcast player that you can download to your computer, Apple devices, Android devices, and it's kind of like a plowed player. So if you start listening on one device, you can pick up on another. And so they sent me personally the tweet and said that they have featured our podcast in their Woodworking Channel. So
Sweet deal.
Did they say if one of the people there is a listener of ours?
I
would assume so, just
Yeah.
because they featured it. But
yeah, I don't know. I went and looked, and if I remember right, it was us making it, and I think Wood Talk were the featured shows. So
sweet,
yeah,
that's cool.
We're making.
That is really cool.
Hey, which one of you's messing with show notes now?
That's probably Sam. I hear her typing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put in stuff so I don't forget. Remember last time I said if I don't write things down, I forget.
Well, crap. Now if they reboot and we don't have access to them, that's your fault.
Yeah. I still have access.
It'll be worth it because my product recommendation is great. So.
Okay.
All right.
Real quick, Jeremy, since we're on the what's new stuff, I wanted to touch up on some things that had happened that I had really forgot to mention on the past shows. But you remember Alabama Woodworker?
Yes.
He left us some comments.
Yes.
I got to meet him at the Atlanta show.
Oh, yeah?
He came up and introduced himself to me. He was like one of the first few people that showed up, I think, on Friday. And he said, "Yeah, I'm the Alabama woodworker." And I was like, "Oh, he's not what I expected as far as how he looked, but he sounded, I could hear his voice through the voicemail in real life. So I thought it was rather cool to meet him in person. So just want to give him a shout out for coming up and introducing himself to me. I also gave Jimmy DeResta our podcast sticker while I was up there too. So I don't know if he's subscribed to it or not, but he didn't even know that we had one.
Yeah, Jimmy, which is kind of crazy because we've had two of their co-hosts on the show and they've both talked about it.
No.
I guess we got to get Jimmy on here.
Yeah, we might have to do that.
Yeah. Well, and then if we do that, we're going to have to get Shannon Rogers on here to complete their podcast.
True.
So I do know I have been asked when we were putting guest hosts back on the show. So that's
we have gone a few weeks without doing that, haven't we?
A few weeks, like 2 months.
Hey,
because I took over.
So,
well, we had to get Sam adapted.
Yeah, and I'm thinking we'll probably start again maybe in June. Like, let us get through May when things kind of calm down, because we got 3 people now trying to coordinate schedules. When you add a 4th one, I just think it's going to be almost impossible. So
yeah, because Sam is the complicated one. I mean, just
what? You guys are the ones who canceled the past times we were going to record. I'm ready.
Well, that's because
I have you face on every Tuesday.
That's because we live in areas that have bad weather.
Yeah, true.
I didn't tell you to move into tornado country.
I didn't. I already lived here.
Exactly. I was born and raised. So,
in case you're curious, the reason why this one is being released late is because I had a tornado warning in my area that it came to fruition on that day, but they had warned us that it was coming, and it happened. Unfortunately, that particular day wasn't really worth writing home about. And then the real bad one came 2 days or 3 days later. So I was like, crap.
Oh, look, Drew's using big words.
Hey, I say fruition all the time. My wife hates it.
So to answer you guys' question, yes, we will be putting guest hosts back on. We'll be talking about that soon, but probably not until the first episode in June. Don't hold me to that, but it is definitely something we've talked about. And something else, and I'm maybe putting you two on the spot. Did we finalize the decision on doing video?
Yeah.
I vote yes.
Okay, so this week and next week will not be videoed. So in 2 weeks you can expect that if you go to YouTube, you will have a video there waiting of the podcast. It will still be an audio-based podcast, so if you want to listen to it on iTunes or Android or wherever else you listen to it, it will still be there. If you like to follow us on YouTube, you will just have the option of now watching our conversation.
Which means we got to put makeup on now.
No.
Maybe you guys got to put makeup on.
I'm still gonna... This will be no production run. So when you guys... Oh, there's my wife calling me.
This guy.
Man.
Yeah.
What happened
like
to
the
Do
guy,
Not Disturb?
Yeah, the guy in the theater.
I got
the phone
Do Not
on.
Disturb on. Like, I don't know. Do
If she
Not Disturb
calls-
works if the iPad's on, though, right?
Well, if she calls within just a minute or so after calling the first time, then it will go through.
Ah.
So it doesn't always work.
Yeah. So, we're going to be doing video in the next few weeks.
Cool.
Now let me go back here. Let's do some product recommendations. Drew, you have nothing listed, so what do you want to recommend?
Well, I didn't want to screw up the show notes, but I was going to recommend the 8-inch dial-a-width dado from Freud. I have grown to love that dado stack. I used to use a manual dado stack where you had to add shims and things like that. And I'd been using the one from Freud. It was their 8-inch stack like that for 2 or maybe 3 or 4 years, something like that. I got it for my birthday from my parents, and I've really, really liked their quality. The sharpness of the blades lasts long time. But whenever I was commissioned by Freud to do a video for them on drawer construction, they sent me the dial-a-width dado, and I'd never seen anything like that except for like a wobble dado blade is kind of what it resembled to me at first. But it actually has a hub on the outer blade that clicks a 64th of an inch each time you click it, and will push the outer blade in and out to fine-tune your width. So if it's not quite what you're needing, you can just loosen the nut. You don't have to take it all the way off. You just loosen it up and then turn the hub one way or the other to move it in and out to fine-tune that width. And it's a really, really nice stack. So that is my recommendation.
It's not a wobble, right?
No. It uses chipper blades just like the standard dado stacks use. It just has the added feature of not having to take that outer blade off to throw shims in. You can just dial the hub to take the place of the shims.
So, well, that's another reason I got to replace my table saw is because my arbor's not long enough to accept anything over 1/4 inch. So, Sam, what are you going to recommend?
I recently got my hands on this pretty cool thing called the US Beast, and it's a little adapter that clips right onto your power tool batteries, and then you can plug your phone into it and charge your phone. When I first got it, I was like, I don't really know how often I'm going to use this. Like, I have outlets, but then I started working outside more because it was getting warm out, and I would just carry an extra battery charger outside, clip the adapter on, and then I can plug in my phone and work while I'm outside. So it's been really helpful, actually. I use it every time I'm in the shop now. One battery charges my phone anywhere from like 3 to 6 times if it runs out, like from taking pictures or video or listening to music or surfing Instagram like I usually do all day long. Then it recharges my battery completely. So that's my recommendation. It's only like $26, I believe. So well worth it. So definitely check it out if that's something that you might be interested in having.
That actually sounds pretty nifty.
Yeah. I'm sitting here thinking that too. I was like, dang, she one-upped me.
Yeah, like the last week, that would have been awesome to have outside because we have every outlet taken with extension cords and everything else. So I looking at it's like 10%, and I'm like, oh crap, I got to go find a place to plug in my phone now. So
yeah, it's definitely helpful, especially like if you're really not buying an outlet and then you have your power tools with you anyway. You just stick it right on the battery. It's just really helpful.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to recommend Art Resin. That is the epoxy resin that's like pretty much been my go-to for the last 6 or 8 months, maybe a little bit longer than that. And that's actually what my Mother's Day present's being made out of. And it comes out super clear. It's easy to pour. It's a 1-to-1 mix ratio. There are some things I would prefer that they have, like, a nifty pump instead of having to pour the bottle and like eye it between the resin and the hardener to make sure that you mix the equal amounts. But it's very easy to work with. It's a thicker product, so it's not as easy to flow through some of the smaller cracks and things that you need to fill. But it's awesome if you're wanting to do inlays and stuff like that. So, and if you checked out my military memory box from last week, the inlay on that is made with Art Resin. And that whole process of doing that inlay will be a separate video. Probably next week is when I'll release that. So,
yeah, I'm waiting on that one the most.
Yeah, it will probably next week is when it'll be done. It's already recorded. I just got to get the editing down, and not much is going to happen when I leave on Thursday for the next 5 days, except running to soccer games, chasing my daughter, doing Mother's Day breakfasts and dinners, and so.
Oh, I keep forgetting it's Mother's Day.
It is. it is.
Sorry, Mom.
Well, look, we're telling you early, so listen to this on Saturday, and it will remind you for Sunday.
There you go.
Good thing I have Amazon Prime.
There
Get
you
something in
go.
2 days. We're good.
There you go. I just ordered a whole bunch in 2 days. Like, I just ordered new, like, Husky or, like, WeatherTech type floor mats for my truck.
Those are great.
Oh, yeah. I got tired of, like, tearing up my carpet floor mats. So I was just like, those are trash. Put in these nice, awesome ones. So, all right. Well, let's start wrapping it up. Sam,
Yeah, so, if you guys would like to support the show, if you love what we do, then you can head over to woodshop101podcast.com/listen. Find our show notes with our product recommendations, a little bit about what we did today. And there you can also find links to make small one-time donations to help support our podcast. You know, it costs a little bit to run this thing, and anything helps. So if you guys like us, definitely consider supporting us in that way. Also, if you guys listen to us on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. It really does help us reach a lot more people. There's a rating that was written from Weston Woodworking, for example, and he said, as a newbie woodworker, this show hits on so many topics that I want to learn about, but it's not just for new people. They talk about tougher projects and making content. I also love that they share their frustrations and shortcomings at times. Makes me not feel so bad about my mess ups or learning procedures. Keep it up, guys. We're really stoked about feedback like that. So again, 5-star rating, leave us some feedback. You could be featured, maybe hear us say your name on air, which would be pretty cool.
Sam could say your name on there.
Yeah, we'll just give all that to Sam because it sounds so much better when she says it. So
yeah,
well, it's my show now, so.
Oh, wow. Okay,
that was bold. Well, if you guys would like to contact us, we have several different ways that you can do that. But for the most part, to reach us all three at the same time, you can go to woodshop101.com /listen, and you can find all of our contact information there. You can also stream any of the episodes that we have done thus far on any mobile device or computer that you have at your house. We have individual websites that you can look us up on as well. And mine is rhwoodshop.com, and I have a contact page that will give you all the contact information you need to know from me. Sam, what is yours as well?
My website is DIYHuntress.com. I also have a super fancy contact form that you can fill out right on the website if you need to get in touch with me. How about you, Jeremy?
You can find me at countrysideworkshop.com. There will be links for all my social media. I got that fancy contact form, but if you want to get a faster response, hit me up on Instagram. Seems like that's my new favorite outlet, and you'll get a response. I would like to say within the day. But it's probably more within 15 minutes because it pops up and I drop everything. Oh, Instagram.
Well, and also don't forget we have an email that you can reach us at for Woodshop 101 podcast. So that's Woodshop101podcast @gmail.com. And we also have a voicemail through Skype that you can leave us an audible voicemail on that we can play on air. And also, if you choose not to do Skype, we have a fancy phone number that you can call from any device, even a landline, which is an area code of 409-234-3959. And if you leave us a voicemail with a question or just want to give us some feedback, we would be happy to play that on the air. And you just might hear yourself on the podcast. So from Jeremy, Sam, and myself, we want to wish you guys well and to please be safe in your shops and give us any kind of feedback and ratings that you would like. And we would much appreciate it. So 1, 2, 3. Boom!